what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and it is time for a new episode of the Horizons Author Lounge, and I'm looking forward to it. We've got some great guests tonight, and without any further ado, we're going to bring on our very first guest, Miss De-Dee Loftin-Davis. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Rhonda. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you. I'm loving this energy. I love the bubbliness, the happiness, the joy. That's what I'm trying to be about, and live that truth in me.
Huh? So this is what we try to do in the Horizons Author Lounge. People just want to have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have lively conversation, and it can still be serious conversation, but it doesn't mean that we have to do it with the mad looks on our face, if you know what I mean.
You just preach the whole entire word, okay? You don't need me. You can just go with that, okay?
Come on, yes. Now I've been looking forward to talking with you because I was reading your bio, and I was like, oh, okay, she got it going on. You are doing a lot. You're not just an author, but you are a staunch supporter of racial equality. You work with the NAACP. In fact, I'm just going to let you tell the people who you are.
Oh, well, if you let me, then I might disappoint you. I'm just De-Dee Loftin-Davis from New Jersey, living in Vermont right now. I'm married to the love of my life for 15 years. My husband, Dad. And if you see a beautiful black man with dreadlocks coming into the door, that's my husband coming from work. I told him to come into the back door, so he knows. But, as far as my professional resume, yeah, it does look impressive, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had. I am 55 years old. That's right. Don't adjust your microphone. I'm 55 years old. Deal with it. Okay.
When it comes to racial equality and in corporate spaces, because I'm not working corporate as well. I work in federal government. But I think often we think that things are supposed to be open to us. We have education. We're smart. We're doing this. We're doing that. I busted my butt to get here. The doors should just open for us. And then when they don't just open, we either fight or we flight. Sometimes we run away and say, I'm just going to do my own thing. I don't want to deal with this. Or we say, okay, I'm going to deal with it, but I'm just going to fight at every turn. And then what happens is you're like, okay, which way do I go? Do I fight or do I flight? And have you often seen that?
Oh my goodness, that's just a Monday for us.
Yeah.
To be honest, you mentioned I worked in government as well with the USAID agency. I was their first racial equity consultant, and I wear that again humbly and grateful. And that work again was right after a Trump presidency. I'm not going to even talk about the administration, but you can imagine after he had left the office and January 6th came up. That's about a couple of days after I started. So that I know government as well, bureaucratic and a lot of backdoor conversations that, when they come to the front, people will be surprised, good and bad. That being said, to answer your question, when I first started working in corporate, this is going back in my 20s, I was just happy to have a job, coming out of college, working in not my career field yet, because we were told that, there's no job openings, but do this first, receptionist, or do this first, customer service, and you can work your way up to the company. And for many companies back in the 90s and 80s, early 80s, that was true for many Black corporate workers. But I'll give you a short story. I was in second grade, and I lived in New Jersey, and we were not bused because we were the poor kids. We had to walk over 1.5 miles every single day to school. So that's almost 3 miles, round trip every single day. Right. So for, I say the first couple of months, I had the biggest crush on this boy named Michael. I'm going to give his last name. He was so cute. Big, beautiful eyes. And I was like, oh, he's just so cute. And I'm in second grade, And after walking, for a couple of months, in the same neighborhood, we began to develop a friendship. And before you know it, he's knock on my door and say, "You come in, Dee-Dee, to school? I walk with you." And so, it's like, oh, my crush is like, walking with me. So one day it was like a Saturday, and we were outside playing in the park, in like the neighborhood park.
Right.
And I could tell that, he was looking at me in a different way, like kind of googly eyed. And I thought, oh, okay. And you've seen Disney, like the princess and the prince kissing. And I thought he was going in for a kiss, right? Because he was like, "You just so pretty." I'm like, oh, okay. Oh my gosh. And when he went in, I heard this big voice from the window saying, "Girl, you ain't ready for that. Get home."
Woo!
Even my big mama. Even my big mama. It was a neighbor's big mama. And she said, "Boy, get home. Girl, you ain't ready for that." All right. Big
Right.
mama. And many of them kept me from so many problems down the road if I would have went down that track.
Do you have a copy of the book with you?
It's a PDF. You just go to Amazon.com and you can just download it tonight. I didn't do a hard copy or a paper copy. I did an e-copy. Again, it's an ebook, so you can go. It's available right away.
Okay, I did put the link in the chat for anybody who would like to click on the link and purchase the book. Please do, because I mean, this is a celebration of
yes
in the neighborhood. The big mamas. Now, did you interview any or interview people who experienced the big mama growing up?
Oh, definitely. I had my little tiny beta group and just listen to their stories, And again, I'm living in Vermont. I'm from New Jersey, but I spoke to people from Vermont, people from New York, people from Pennsylvania, from Philly. My husband, he's from Philadelphia, north side of Philadelphia, North Philly. Don't play. So talking to those big mamas, about his experience. And so, and just, I thought it's universal. I spoke to some Asian families who have big mamas. They had a different name for them,
I think that's great. I mean, sometimes we think we're the only people.
We're not,
We have in the couple of minutes that we have left, there's probably a young person who's just getting into corporate America, who may feel like their joy is wrapped around their paycheck and nothing else. Because we see that a lot. Oh, she's getting paid, she'll be all right. But what are a couple of pieces of advice that you might be able to give that young person who's just getting into that corporate arena, or who maybe does have the entire world on their shoulders, and how can they work through that?
Well, my disclaimer is that I'm not a big mama by blood, but I have a lot of children who are adults now who I say, I get it. You have worked since elementary school. You've worked since high school. You have earned either a college degree or have life experience. And now you have this opportunity and you have a lot of fire. You have a lot of youth. You have a lot of passion, drive. Yes, use all those things to your advantage because that's what got you there. But make sure you add not just self-care, but self-awareness. Be aware of who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, corporate and those who are not for you will tell you who you are. And if you're not careful, you'll believe them. So, self-care and self-awareness.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope that we're able to stay in touch with each other.
Yes, please, definitely.
You have so many layers that we didn't even have a chance to touch. I'm gonna have to have you back on the show.
Definitely. Well, again, I didn't want to take up the whole entire 30 minutes, in case you had questions or whatever. So I wanted the conversation. So that makes me feel happy and blessed. So thank you. And again, if you have a big mama in your life, if you have a big papa, whoever you have in your life who really is uplifting you, encouraging you, let them know, because time is not something that we have in spades. Let people know how much they mean, how much you mean to them.